It gives me A, C, and B. C are two lines and gives me a diagram. And then it says find the slope of AC. I go to page 18 of my tables. I look up the slope formula, which is this one here. Okay. Then I'm going to label A and C. So A is the point minus 2, 0. C is the point 0, 3. Okay. I'm just going to call this x1, y1, x2, and y2. And they were very happy to give you some easy marks. So that's a nice one. So it's going to be 3 minus 0 all over 0 minus 2 minuses. It's a positive slope because if I was playing Super Mario and I go left to right, positive slope when you go uphill and a negative slope when you go downhill. So I'm expecting a positive answer. If I put down the calculator, I get 3 over 2 as my slope. And I go, okay, that's all right. Now, A part 2. By using slopes, investigate. Yes. If you aren't sure, put down both. Fractions are generally considered better. Okay. Investigate by using slopes if AC is perpendicular to BC. Justify your answer. Okay. That now means I need to get the slope of BC. And once again, I'm going to have to use the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Right? And B and C, oh, sorry, that's C, not B. C is 0, 3. B, you are 5 and 0. Okay, and I'll just label them in the usual fashion. And we shall get 0 minus 3, 5 minus 0. I get minus 3 over 5. Now, lads, there's something that's not in your tables. If you want to write it into your maths tables on page 18, please do. The rule is if you're investigating that two lines are perpendicular to each other, you must multiply both slopes by each other. And if both slopes equal minus 1, they're perpendicular. We did this in yesterday's class, where if I gave you a slope of minus 3 over 4, all you need to do to find a perpendicular slope is turn it upside down. If it's a negative fraction, it turns into a positive fraction. If it's a positive fraction, and you want to find a slope perpendicular to it, you turn it upside down and change it into a negative fraction. Okay. Now, long story short, we're going to get these two slopes and we're going to multiply them by each other. Okay. So the slope of the first one was 3 over 2. So 3 over 2 multiplied by minus 3 over 5. And we can clearly see that does not equal minus 1. Equals minus 9 over 10. And does not equal minus 1. They're not perpendicular to each other. So we did that. We justified our answer by doing this here. That's the justifying your answer part. Okay. I'm reading this, and even as a teacher, I'm saying this is a lot, right? LMN is this diagram here. Okay, great. M is 9, 1. Happy days. Ah, there we go. Symmetry. Okay. So symmetry. You see this line here? See the line LM? Do you believe it's parallel to the x-axis? Is it the same? Is it going straight across? It is, isn't it? What does that mean about the y coordinate of L? Has to stay as 1. Now, if this one's 9 to the right, what about this one here? 9 to the left, which is minus 9. Everybody cool with that? Now, there's a choice here to be made. It wants the distance of L to M, doesn't it? You could do the distance formula if you want. There is nothing wrong with doing the distance formula. Did anybody do the distance formula for this? Anybody? All right. Now you're not wrong with that. There is a quicker way of doing it though. Would you like to know the quicker way? The quicker way is because the line's going straight across. We already said it. That's 9 to the right. That's 9 to the left. It's 18. You get the same answer if you decide to put all the numbers in. And you do like 9 minus 9, and then 1 take away 1 squared. You'll get the same answer. It's 18. Okay, cool. What question is this? B. Write down the equation of the horizontal line LM. All right. Do I have geometry around me? All right. All right, guys. There's a bit of revision here, okay? Yeah. What I was about to say before we went on, that was so horizontal lines and vertical lines, right? So if I put the line x equals 3, you know what that means? It means all the points where x is equal to 3. See the way it creates a vertical line? All of these points on this line is where x equals 3. Can anybody tell me what would y equals 2 look like? Y equals 2. What would that look like? Anybody have an idea? All of the points where y has to be 2 is horizontal. Okay? Everybody okay with that? Where would x equals minus 6 be? X equals minus 6? Huh? Vertical or horizontal? Yeah. All the points for x equals minus 6. Everybody okay with that? Now, we go back to our question with this knowledge, okay? Write down the equation of LM. What's LM is horizontal. You have two choices. It's either x equals or y equals. X equals is vertical. Y equals is horizontal. So which one is it? A horizontal or a vertical? Yeah. What is the y value for both of those points? 1. So it's clearly the line y equals 1. Okay with that? Finally, NM has an equation. Which one's NM? NM is this one here. Everybody see the red line? N to M. Okay. And what it's looking for is the point N. Okay. Now, we have a choice with N. Two ways of doing this. Does everybody see the way N is on the y-axis? What does that mean about its x value? If N is on the y-axis, what does it mean about its x value? 0. Your x value is 0, and you're clearly looking for the y value, aren't you? So what can I do with this? What can I do with this line? Replace x with 0, and then do what? Find out what the y value is. That's all we gotta do there. Okay. We get 4y equals 13, and y equals 13 over 4. So the point is 0 and 13 over 4. Right. So I'm comparing this equation directly to the HK equation. Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the fact that instead of minus h, I have minus 4. That means that the h value got replaced with 4. The minus k value is replaced with plus 2. So this must mean that the k value is minus 2. So that's my answer. Your radius squared is replaced with 169. See, I had minus k. I needed plus k. See the way that's a plus k, not a minus k. So minus k is plus 2. So then square root that and you get a radius of 13. Right. X minus 4y plus 2. Okay. Is anybody on part 2? Okay. To do part two, there's two methods you could use. Okay. The first method is like this. The first method is you have to center the circle. What's the center of the circle again? 4 minus 2. And it's 1110, isn't it? You could use the distance formula. You could use the distance formula to find the distance between the center and the point they gave you. If it's longer than the radius, what is it? If it's longer than the radius, it's outside. If it's shorter than the radius, and if it is the radius, it's on the circle. So you have an option of using the equation of the distance between 2 points formula. There is a second option. The second option is quite simply to replace the x and y value with 11 and 10. And if it balances, it's on the line. If it's smaller, it's inside. And if it equals, it's on. So it's going to be, it's going to be 7 squared plus 13 squared, which is, it's going to be bigger. It's well outside. Oh, 11 and 10. Sorry, my bad. Not a, oh, it is 11 and 10. But I put in 11 and 10. There's the 11. Oh, and there's the 10. My bad. Thank you. So it's 49 plus 7 squared plus 12 squared, which is still 193. So it's too big either way. Because it's bigger, what does that mean? It's outside. Pavel, you've had a question for me. All right. Now, lovely. That's a big old diagram. Okay, what does it want from us? Find the corners of another point on the circle. Oh, translation. Lovely. All right, let me show you this. I think I did one or two of these on the notes, all right? So, circle S. Everybody see the circle S? See the circle S? And I'm looking for any point that's on the circle. Does that make sense? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, see this red dot? I'm going to put it onto the diameter. See the diameter? Sorry, use a small line. Everybody see this diameter here? I'm going to put the red dot over the far side. Is everybody cool with that? What do we know about the green dot to the purple dot is the same distance as the purple dot to the red dot. All right, Jake? Everybody see that? We good? Now, get this. How'd you go from 12 to 22? Plus 10 to the x value. How'd you go from 11 to 13? Yeah. Can anybody predict what the red dot would have to be then? Add 10 to the 22 and you get? And add 2 to the 13. Because it's the same direction and same distance. This is known as a translation. You cool with that? So 3215. And that would be your workings. All good? Lads, the next question wants the equation of the circle T. Okay? Wants the equation of the circle T. What does it say about T? What? Yeah. Haven't I? Yeah. You're onto it. You're absolutely onto that now. Right. So look at this. Okay. This is a really difficult question, and to be honest, we're not expecting. How would you get a temp marks? Would be a good start. How would you get a temp marks? What's the formula? Equals r squared. Yes. Fair play to you. Well done. Yeah, absolutely. You're completely correct. I'm focusing on is If maths is not your best subject, I'm focusing first on how to get marks, and then obviously what you just told me there is the second part. Okay. Yeah, no, you did really. No, it's you asked for the full. Oh, sorry, you only asked for the center. Perfect. Well done. You only asked for the center, which is excellent, right? So you don't actually need the equation of the circle because you only asked for the center, not the equation of the circle. Now, here's what happens. I think it's what Pavel told me. The distance from the purple to the green, yeah, from purple to green to blue is half that distance. Everybody got that? Now, how'd you go from purple to green? 22 to 12 is, and 13 to 11. Now, half that distance. Yeah, and that's what Pavel said then. Take 12, take away 5, and 11, take away 1, 10. Well done. That's it. We try this one here. Tell you what, guys, you guys start on this. All right. First thing it says it's equilateral. What does that mean? So all triangles are the same as well. What does that mean for each angle? They're all 60. So they're giving you that straight away. They're going, happy days, 60 degrees. Which angle would be PQR of interest? See the middle letter? What? The middle, oh, sorry. The middle letter is the important letter. So that's angle Q. Do you see it? So all triangles are 60 degrees. Happy days, right? Show the area of a triangle. Now, you go to your tables and you look up area of a triangle formula. The first thing you see is a half base times height. Is that usable in this question? What height would you need to know to use that in this question? You need to know the height from here to here, wouldn't you? You could get it using Pythagoras' theorem, where you do 8 for this side, 4 for this side, and you do Pythagoras' theorem, and you find the height. You could do it that way, and then you could do half base times height. There is another option. It's called a half AB sine C. Does anybody know how to use this? It's a half any two lengths and the angle that's sandwiched in between. So it's a half 8 times 8 and the angle in between, which is 60. Does everybody see that? So you're going to do a half 8 times 8 sine 60. Put that into the calculator and it will kick out 16 root 3. 16 root 3. Happy days? Okay. So move on then. Oh wait, not that one yet. Not that one yet. This one. Hence or otherwise find the perpendicular heights. Oh. Okay. Might as well show you the method I was thinking about earlier. What did I say earlier? They wanted the perpendicular height, which is the they want the red one, don't they? Ever see that? What did we say earlier? That's 8. And because it's an isosceles or an equilateral triangle, when you draw it straight down, it will cut the bottom part in half. Does that make sense? Okay. And then we can just call this h. What can we say then? H squared equals. Pythagoras theorem, lads. What do you reckon? Yeah. 64 equals h squared plus 16. Take away the 16 and what do we get? 64 take away 16. 48. Square root 48. 4 root 3. I'm going to show you a secondary method now. Okay. Here's the secondary method right now. What's the answer of part 2 again for the full triangle? 16 root 3, was it? Okay, so look at this. That's your height. That's your base, isn't it? Would you agree with that? Okay. That's your height, that's your base. A half base times height is, what do you say, 16 root 3? What's half of our base? What's half of A? 4h. And what's 16 root 3 divided by 4? 4 square root of 3. Two methods, equally valid. Both methods work. Okay? All right. I'm going to move on to 3b now, like I was asked, just to clean up the mess that we didn't do originally. All right. This is what's called the fundamental principle of counting. You're allowed to choose any subjects from the following groups. You're allowed 3 choices in subject A, 4 choices in subject B, and 5 subjects in subject C. How many choices is there in total then? 3 multiplied by 4, 12, 12 by 5, 60. 60 choices. That's your first answer. Okay, so to give you a nice, easy one straight away. Go with that? Okay, next question. The skill is going to add one extra subject to one of these groups, A, B, or C. Which group should the subject be added to in order to make the largest number of choices possible? Okay, what did we do? 3, 4, 5, wasn't it? 3 by 4 by 5 was 60. Here's what we're going to do. Let's add one onto A. What happens if we add on one subject to A? What do we get then? 4 by 4 by 5, and that is actually 80. What happens if we add on one subject to B, but not A? Which is 75. And the last one, what happens if we add on to C instead? 3 by 4 by, which is 72. Which one should we put the choice onto? 4, 4, 5. Put extra subjects on A. Okay? Cool. Is that the end of the question? Is that it? Deadly. All right.